When I think of a tree in the valley, I think of a tall tree standing strong, something that outshines everything else. East Salinas is not being represented fairly. The spotlight is showing a lot in gang violence. Other parts aren't really represented. And all these other artists that aren't known through this project, they're going to be giving a new face. And I think that through my writing, through what I feel, like I'm able to express it through poetry, through music, and through my art, I hope to be able to impact my community in a positive manner. I also hope to be able to, that's basically it.
Tonight, I'm not coming home.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die.
Before I left, I kissed my mom goodbye, and I put $1,000 saved up this summer in my wallet. And as I pulled away from that driveway, I realized that the road back home would be long and winding. So tonight, I'm not coming home.
Yes, bailout. The bailout, the bank bailout. That sum of money
could reach Venus.
That sum of money is greater than the entire 50-year running budget of NASA.
Wow.
And so when someone says we don't have enough money for this space probe, I'm asking, no, it's not that you don't have enough money. It's that the distribution of money that you're spending is warped in some way, that you are removing the only thing that gives people something to dream about tomorrow. Do you remember the 60s? It all ended. We stopped dreaming.
In 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson said, "We shall overcome." In that same year, the Voting Rights Act was passed, giving the African American the right to vote. In 1962, JFK said, "Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer." And for the first time in a long time, Americans felt the meaning of democracy. And in 2013, a black filmmaker from Philadelphia stood outside the corner of 13th and Filbert Street wearing a white KKK suit in order to advocate the injustice of black on black crime. And when asked why he did it, he said, "Because there's a new boogeyman out there. Because there's a new terror out there. And I am not comfortable with it. So I'ma do something about it."
It all ended. We stopped dreaming. It all ended. We stopped dreaming. It all ended. We stopped dreaming.
And as I stopped at a stoplight, I couldn't stop myself from wondering what pushed Mr. Chavez to go on a 36-day fast. Mr. Chavez, was it because you can see something that I can't? Or was it to prove the theory of nonviolence when they knew you had millions ready to fight at your say-so? Tonight, I'ma keep on driving till I find the answers that satisfy me. And as it gets late, Dr. King will appear in my side mirror to tell me he had a dream. And as the hours turn into 1, 2, and 3, and my back starts hurting and my eyes start to get heavy on me, Rosa Parks will appear to say, I refuse to give up this seat.
It all ended. We stopped dreaming. It all ended. We stopped dreaming.
I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. I've been to the mountaintop.
He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
And when that time comes and you find something standing in front of you, something that it ain't running, it ain't backing up, and it's hitting on you when you're too damn tired to breathe, you find that situation on you, that's good. Because that's baptism under fire.
And as I reached the destination, which I didn't know would be my destination, I realized that we are the sons and daughters of their teachings. And what we learned was that the individual can change the world if need be. So it is you, the poet, that can change things. It is you, the young, that has the vigor for ideas that will shake things. It is through you that we will never die.
For all those whose cares have been our concern, the work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
And with a sudden start, I turned back on my car. And with inspiration in my eyes, I hurried back. Because tonight, at 7 p.m., I have an open mic to get to. Because tonight my head is filled with ideas and notions of people who have changed the world in one night. So tonight, I won't be home.
When I construct a garment, I always like it with the sewing machine because I like how fast the needle goes and how everything just gets sewn together. That's pretty neat. Only if it doesn't mess up, because if it messes up, then I hate it. When I think about pursuing a career in fashion and clothing, I'm always thinking, why am I doing this? You know, there's so many people out there that are good, and there's so many people that have more experience, you know, and like, it's a tough industry, why do I keep trying? And then I think, well, I like it, and I think that's pretty cool, you know, why can't people buy my clothes and be inspired by what I do, and why can't I be an influence in a positive way to other people? During my childhood, my mom put me in sports and tried to do swimming, and I was not up for that. I've always been drawing or creating something. I had a period where I thought paper was invincible and made everything I could out of it. So constructing or, you know, just thinking of ideas and creation just always been with me and forever. And I think that if I didn't have clothing or fashion as an outlet, I would be stuck drawing, and I would still try to figure out some way to get that creativity out of my head and into something I could see. One of the pieces that I had the most trouble with when I was creating it was this peacock right here in front of me, because I just wanted to make a blazer, just, you know, practice and have a new pattern to make so I would have more stuff that I created. But then I figured out, hey, you know, this piece matches exactly with the fabric on the bottom. So then I cut it and I tried to make it match as good as possible, but I messed up and I didn't leave space for stitching. So I had to try my best to figure out how to get it to match evenly. And I couldn't get it, and it took me probably about 6 times sewing it and unsewing it. And that's just patience right there. I was getting ready to just rip it apart and just like when you do something, you have to do it right the first time, or else it's just going to keep building up and building up, and you can't stop when something goes wrong. You have to keep going and try. There's different ways. There's never one road. There's always multiple roads to get around. I can never say I have a hole in my pants, or when something rips, I can just cut it and make it into something else and, reuse it and fix it up. I can always buy old t-shirts and like make it my own and have my own design. So when I started to enter high school, I've always thinking about the movies where people find themselves, and I was like, what if I find myself? Because I was always like different from my whole family. Like, am I an alien or something? What's wrong with me? And then I always wanted to find something that was mine. And then when I found the clothing and making clothes that I liked it, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And it's in my family, like my grandma's mom and her sisters, they could make patterns without even using patterns. They could just cut the fabric and make it, and it's awesome. Like, I don't know them, they passed away, but I'm just like, please be with me when you do it, when you make it. And then I'm always doubting myself when I make clothes. I was like, this does not look like it came on my head. And then my friends are like, hey, that's pretty cool, I wish I could do that. Or when they say I wish I can draw, even if, I can only draw a little bit, I'm just like, hey, that gives me kind of a self-esteem boost. Like, I can do something. I could do something too. I just by myself.
When I was little, I would always start drawing. My parents got me into drawing a lot, especially my mom. And I feel that art has really just shaped the person who I am. If it wasn't for, an art, I don't know what I would be. I guess you can say I'm an artist. Not only because I know how to draw, but because I know how to express myself in many ways. Trees, they have roots, right? I guess we're all trees in a sense. We all come from, whether it is our family, background. It just really determines who we are, our roots. Our roots right now kind of just explain a very deteriorated city known for violence, and I think that the tree in the valley just kind of says, we're that tree. We're unique. The tree's unique. A pen and paper is all I need. With it, I'll depict the image of the streets, filled with sidewalk cracks and broken leaves, left behind by kids with shattered dreams. But there's a kid trying to improve and do better. He's a real go-getter. Some say he's a storyteller, making works of art that would be different from the rest. Not intended to be the best, just trying to get shit off his chest. Put it on a canvas or two, or write it down on paper. That worked for him too. Inspired by everything and everyone, good or bad, happy or sad. His job was to tell the story of the world that had gone mad. He would paint the murders of peers who could not cope, mad fiends driven by dope. For $1 they would choke. But don't worry, he also painted signs of hope. His message with his art was clear. It's to inspire you to try things without fear. To not be afraid, to let your emotions loose, to do as you choose, to be individuals and not reproductions, to free yourself from mental corruption. Well, that's it for now. That's the story of the kid who walks through sidewalks with cracks but does not slip.
I don't know, writing is just me. That's what I've loved. It's what I've always loved. It's the greatest feeling I have is when I write. I feel, I guess, invincible. A tree in the valley makes me think of home, family, something that is stable, something that can go on living through the years, something real. Even if we don't get recognition from everybody, we've all really broken through some sort of barrier to just be able to put ourselves out there.
Change. That is something I will never understand, something that I will always fear, and something that I have learned to live with. Here is the cold, hard truth. There is nothing that does not change. But I didn't know that. I was so stuck in my world that I didn't know I was in a time so much different from adulthood. I knew life gave, but I didn't know life took. I was the tallest in my school. I had the prettiest hair, the straightest teeth, the best grades, and the most loving parents. I had the most perfect life. I was the girl in the onyx mirror. I was naive, a sapling, a seed within the valley of the world, and I thought I was the center of that valley of that world. My mother shielded me from that world a lot. She was another seed too, you could say. An exotic-eyed sprig with hair straight from the rings of Saturn. A figure so petite you could hold her in your hand. She shielded me against stereotype. Wetback. The word Mexican coming out like a dirty bad word, then using soap to wash us out like filth perverts would say. But at that young age, you don't think about that stuff. About gender, color, race, financial background. All you thought about was playing dodgeball or tag. My father never lied to me like Mom did. He didn't care. All he wanted was a boy that drank oceans and nectar from the gods. So when it all came undone, when I saw the hate in my father for the girl that would never live up to his ghost child, and the wife whose value died the moment she could not procreate, when I saw the disgust in my friends for my kind, when the perfect girl standing before me in that onyx mirror began to crack and shatter, I ran. God, I ran because I knew then that life had changed, and that once it changed, it would never be as perfect as it was. Days, truths, and lies blended together. Nothing mattered but that running, and I was lost in a blur of nameless, soundless emotions. My young life had died, but I was still searching for that stilled scene in my forgotten wonderland, for that girl in the forgotten onyx mirror. Would you like to know the best part? I found it. That part of the world that would never change. And God, was he beautiful. It wasn't sunny that day, and the days after that. I stepped onto a train on my way to work. He was sitting back on an old red tattered seat with a gray scruffy coat and brown beaten shoes. Good morning, I said, taking a seat across him. He shifted to face me and bowed his head ever so slightly. Prehistoric milky eyes met me with benevolence and respect, and something else, something precious. The moment ended and he turned his back against us, breathing in deeply, breathing out deeply, a question and answer within each breath. Whistles blew, murmurs began. I watched the man. He probably knew, but I watched that man wrapped in sand-colored skin. Old age had not taken him. His appearance, yes, was withered, but not his impression, not the essence of a human being. He was so still, so incredibly still. Even as a train rumbled and roared, shook and shuddered, even as a train traveled from hell to heaven, he was still. Goodbye, I whispered. He shifted, nodded, but never spoke. Yet those eyes, that shift, that impression brought fire back into my life. For years that lasted. For years that spot in the world never changed. He was from that moment in time where life is simple. Where fathers loved mothers, mothers loved fathers, friends stayed friends. Where people are people. But nothing stays the same anymore. Nothing is still for long anymore. Not even eternal things. One moment is all it takes. One moment to get sick, to be late to the train, to not be there to greet him in the morning. One moment to make that man believe that I had tired of him, that I had tired of his silence, his subtle passion, his age. One moment was all it took to make everything in the world move again. I drove to the next stop to catch a train after missing it, just to see him. Pitiful? No, because to me, that train, that moment, meant everything. But when I got there, all that was left behind was shattered glass and an empty red seat. They said he jumped. Jumped? Or pushed to jump because I was not there. That man that I had so admired, so held dear, so, dare I say it, loved. Someone screamed. It was a long, woeful, painful, gut-wrenching scream. It chilled me to the bone. It dulled my soul. And that scream was mine. Everything changes. Everything. No matter how much you fight it, no matter how much you will it, things, people, places change. But that old man, that old soldier against time gave me back my onyx mirror with a lesson he so silently gave. That you, as a seed, as a sapling, you grow, you morph, you change, until you become a tree in this valley of this world. But what doesn't change is the fact that you're still a tree in the valley.
I'm Aaron Parks and I write and record music. I like playing all different kinds of music. Mostly, I don't know, I've been getting really into jazz and kind of alternative rock kind of music, but I also play metal and various other types. I really enjoy writing music for my own entertainment, and I almost use it as an outlet for my different emotions and how I'm feeling at the time. Most of the songs are kind of just a reflection on either a really bad day or a really good day most of the time. And so I try to mix it up and kind of get out of my own element a little bit with it. But if I'm having a really good day or a really bad time, then I normally express that through writing music. If I could change anything about the music industry, I would make more meaningful artists more famous, where I think there's a lot of people that write and really have true emotion for their music that don't get credit that the pretty face does. If somebody came to me and asked what they should do with their music, I would tell them to try to do the best they could with the resources they have, and to take every opportunity you are presented with. I think one thing really important with music, and especially with the accessibility of it nowadays, is to just do what you can with what you got. Like, you don't need the fanciest equipment to make meaningful music, and if you just do what you can with the resources you do have, you can actually make a more almost unique sound with the resources you have, and you could still make really great music.
My name is Gonzalo Mesa and I'm part of Artists Inc. My art is like soulmate. It's kind of where I go to vent to, where I share ideas, anything like that. Every once in a while I get inspired by something and I'd go to my notebook, start writing anything that I've seen, anything that has inspired me. So when people see my art, I want them to think, I want the conscience to come to life and be aware of their surroundings. When I hear the phrase a tree in the valley, it reminds me of everybody in Salinas. So for example, me, right here with the tree in my background. Well, before we go, I really don't have any thoughts. I just hope this goes as planned and we make a change in Salinas.
Once upon a time not too long ago. This is for the girl who just slit her wrist because she never mentioned on nobody's list. This is for the nerd being called for eyes, working double shifts frying frozen french fries. This is for the future mom going to school, watching eyes stare, meanwhile they ridicule. This is for the kid searching for a new home, packed with 3 bags and a picture on his phone. This is for the girl always crying at night, hearing her parents clear when they argue and fight. This is for the woman sleeping on the bus stop, recycling cans and bottles all around the clock. This is a universal poem just for you, to share some information or to give you a clue. This is to let you know that it's okay to be mad. This is to let you know that it's okay to be sad. So carry this poem everywhere that you go to remind yourself daily that you're not alone.
I'm a visual artist, so in my life that kind of helps me express my views on the world and kind of show my views and perspectives on life, and just helps me express my emotions. I hope to create a more positive image of Salinas, because when a lot of people think of Salinas, they think of the violence or just negative views, and what the media shows isn't the most positive aspect of Salinas. So I want to show that there is creative people, that there are a lot of good people, and that it's being eclipsed by the bad media attention.
Good afternoon, Mr. White, and thank you for meeting with me. My interests lie in the mathematical aspects. Sorry about that. I graduated from a small college, but I've worked with many mathematicians. Here's a copy of my resume. Sir, would you like to take the copy? Can I ask you why you won't take it? Better yet, can I assume why you won't take it? It's because of my stutter, correct? I can't help it, Mr. White. I have a stutter, and it isn't going away anytime soon. But I qualify for this job. I swear to God I do. Just let me start over, please. I graduated from a small college, but I've worked with many mathematicians. Sir, wait, I can do this. It's just a bad day. It's just this day, but I can work and I can think. Just give me the chance. I'll do anything for this job. I have a family to take care of. A kid who's always getting sick. But just let me, God damn it, just let me prove it to you. I'm not mentally handicapped. My mind doesn't work in a stutter. I can outsolve half of those idiots working in the cubicles, relying on Google to tell the difference between Fermat/theorem and tic-tac-toe. I can, but you and everyone else I've ever met has told me that I can't. Well, screw you, Mr. White. I can, and I have been doing this my whole life. I've had to put up with people like you who make fun of the stuttering little Mexican boy. You don't deserve me. You don't deserve any goddamn one, so screw you and screw this job. Good day, Mr. White.
Art in my life is really important to me because it's just there for me when I need it. I can go to it whenever I need to. It's not a change. It's not fluctuating like the rest of life. So it's my world. I hope to become better at what I do at art. And I hope it becomes really positive in Salinas because I'm living here now and I want it to be better. When I think of the phrase "a tree in the valley," I think of individuals who can make something better, who bring hope to the community.
I can't use this. I'm sorry. Gave me something better.
My name is Armando. Writing and documenting the stories of my city is my passion. I know that people from other cities think Salinas is a dead-end town, but I want to change that. There are thousands of stories out there just waiting to be told about this place. Stories that no one else knows, but I know. I believe in this town and what it's made of.
Vamos, see you after school.
¡Ey, espérate! ¿Dónde vas?
Mande, mamá.
David, sé que esta mudanza no ha sido nada fácil, pero espero que entiendas que todo lo que hago es por tu bien.
Don't worry, ma. Todo va a estar bien.
Hijo, estoy tan orgullosa de ti. Vas a ser el primero en la familia en agarrar una educación. Vas a ir al colegio. Pero esos malditos deportes son los únicos que ahorita te están afectando tus calificaciones. Toman todo tu tiempo. Entiéndeme.
Ay, ya hablamos de eso, ma. Please, respect my decision.
No, muchacho, la educación es lo más importante. Esos deportes no te van a llevar a nada.
Ay, ma, por favor.
Escucha lo que te estoy diciendo.
Ya me voy. I'm running late.
Cuídate.
Hey, yeah, you're TG, right?
Yeah, you're the school's jock, right?
Well, if that's the way you want to look at it. I'm just trying to get by. Hopefully get a scholarship.
Uh-huh.
What about you? I haven't seen you around school in a while. What have you been up to?
I was transferred to Mount Toro.
Oh.
Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's not that big of a deal.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's fine. It's not a problem. I'm used to it.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I just mean there are bigger problems as well. People get caught up a lot, but things can always be worse.
That's a pretty optimistic way to look at it.
I always hear people talk about how bad they've got it, how horrible their lives are. They don't even realize how lucky they are to have those problems.
Do you feel lucky to have those problems?
I would if I had them. Those problems are the good ones to have.
Where'd you hear that?
It's from an Atmosphere song.
That's one hell of a motto.
Bess is here. I hope you don't think that we're best of friends.
You've got too much charisma for me to handle anyways. These problems are the good ones to have.
Hello?
Hey, what are you doing?
Making dinner? Your favorite. What's wrong?
Something came up at work.
And you can't make it.
I'm really sorry. I wish I could. I really need this right now. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm alright. I just dropped something. Yeah. You know, I understand it's just... we planned this.
No, I'm sorry.
It's alright. Be safe.
Always.
I love you.
I love you too.
Ya, levántate. Se te va a hacer tarde para la escuela. Ya me voy a trabajar. Le das las medicinas a tu tío.
Échale ganas en la escuela, ¿eh? No seas como esos vagos en la calle. Mira, amigo. Tú tienes que ser alguien en la vida. Porque todos somos como un árbol en el bosque. Y tú tienes que hacer mucho ruido. Así para que el día que caigas, todo el mundo te escuche.
What's up, G? Are you beating up steak and cheese?
Nah, man.
How can I make your day better?
I need some bread, man.
Have you seen the Great Depression?
Come on, man. I really need this.
Let me see. Think you can handle?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Mamá, ¿sabías que yo quiero ser como tú eres? trabajas todo el día, me das de comer, me limpias las lágrimas, me besas al anochecer. Mamá, ¿estás triste cuando papá no llega a casa? Sé que a veces lloras cuando crees que estoy durmiendo. ¿Quién te cuida a ti? ¿Quién te limpia las lágrimas? ¿Quién te besa al anochecer? Mamá, no quiero que estés triste. Mamá, no llores. Mamá, te quiero. No me olvides. Eres mi héroe. Eres mi ángel guardián. No me dejes solita. No te vayas. Mamá.
Tú tienes que ser alguien en la vida. Que todos somos como un árbol en el bosque. Tú tienes que hacer mucho ruido. Así para que el día que caigas, todo el mundo te escuche.
We all fall someday.
I picked up my books, my broken pencil, cut from a tree, now a part of me. With my ragged backpack full of the world's weight leaning on my right shoulder.
My father marched with Chavez in the 60s. Growing up, I was raised with that spirit. People that aren't from around here don't understand the impact Chavez had, the spirit he gave to the people, how he united us. He showed the world, Salinas Valley, who we really are. Hard workers, proud people, humble people. Maybe one day I can give that same spirit back to our community.
Excuse me! Excuse me!
Bye.